Hey everybody, Warren here, and welcome to week 2 integrated marketing. Let's get us into our course room here, and quick review of last week. Good interaction last week. I know there's not a lot of us in this particular course, but still good interaction on the discussion. Lots of info back and forth. I will also add that I'm doing these videos every week. I put them in the announcements, and I don't know if people ever see them. So I'm putting them in here too. So if you reply to these, that can count as one of your replies, or you might get some good info depending on what the case is. But anyway, a good good interaction from those of you in the course. Like I also shared in here, like an example of a calendar. Brian commented on here about because this was back in 2003 when I had my stores, but there's a good point here. Now we have Netflix, Hulu, and a lot of other things. So there are so many things in marketing and so many avenues and different places and ways to market. It's just it's a fascinating career field and just a whole animal itself. So let me see here. And then on the assignment, make sure you scroll down so you see the instructions there about the minimum page length, stuff like that. So here too, those of you that turned it in, good work. So no issues there. Let's jump up here to week 2. Week 2, you got the you got 3 chapters, but you're skipping 1, 5, 6, and then you skip 7, do number 8. Alrighty, and then we're going to do on the discussion. We're going to talk about. What are we talking about here? We are talking about industries can invest in considerably larger portions in their advertising. Some industries do more and less. When I was in Domino's, depending on time of year, it was more or less, but it was always a percentage. Domino's as a company, spent like 5.5. I'm sorry, 10%. Was on advertising. As a franchisee, we would contribute like 5% of our sales to the advertising pot. Now 5% of $100 would be $5. But if when you had $50, then it would only be like $2.50. So the dollar amount would flux. So sometimes in a year we'd have less advertising, even though we're putting in the same percentage of the sales. So smaller companies or smaller business, that's how they have to operate. Larger companies can sometimes afford to spend more than they're bringing in because they got money in there. But anyway, this is something to talk about. So we'll see how we do in there. And then on the assignment, okay, advertise. They're using the file group. So when you get in there and you start looking at that. And also scroll down here because there's a third paragraph down here, okay? And then your instructions. So make sure, you scroll up and down, look at the whole thing. I also pulled up here just on, for the marketing, one of the things we used to do when I was, Domino's is, on the advertising aspect. Whoops, I got it over here. Let me pull it over here. Okay. Had it on the wrong screen over there. But on, like we did things like Advil, like you get the packets in the mail every week, be in those big newspaper type things that's stuffed in your mailbox, or sometimes little envelopes that get stuffed in your mailbox. So there's a process. We go through that. Like the company would send us their program, out in advance, and then the price it would cost us to do it, and all the other things, and what the creative looked like, and then of course we would come up with oops, okay, I'll bring this over here. And then we would come up with, placement, like something, I did mine on an Excel sheet with the different offers. And then, oops, okay, get down there. And then they, of course, would place them in here, so I mean, that was the process. But one of the things when you get into the, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because when we get over here into your slides, segmentation targeting. Okay. One of the things is these advertising companies would have like zip code maps, and you may live in a place that you serve 5 zip codes, But based on demographics and other, information that they have, you might only send to 3 of the zip codes, and not to the other 2. Depending on what you're trying to sell. So that's where you get into the segmentation stuff. So when you go through these slides here, that's some of the stuff they talk about. And I just, that's just a good, just giving you a good example there on, um, how we do the demographics, the geodemographics, the psycho and the behavior. So different things appeal to different people. And also times a month, in the pizza business, on sales graphs, the first of the month and middle of the month, the spikes would go up. And that would be based on advertising. So everybody had to do advertising, even if you really couldn't afford it, because if you didn't, the competitors would get, a lot of your business, and then you'd be worse off than you were. So, but anyway, that's just a little bit on that. Another thing on advertising, people. Like I said, marketing is fascinating. It's interesting how everybody, what draws people's attention. People at different incomes level are drawn to different things. When I was in Ohio with pizza stores, there was a small chain up. I was in the western part of the state, like over near Youngstown, Canton, Youngstown, and then up in Cleveland there was a pizza chain up there. And I forget their name, but their whole thing was, buy one get one. It was basically buy one pizza get one free, and so that was their concept. So I mean, people in their mind believe they're getting a free pizza, and it was amazing because they opened up a couple stores down in our area, and it was just amazing. People were flocking to these places to get that free pizza, even though they were spending $2 or $3 more than if they were going to Pizza Hut or us, to the national chains, because they would charge at the time, they would charge like $18 for their large pizza, and then they give people the free one, and so you get the same 2 pizzas at any of the national brands for $1 or $2 cheaper at that time, but people believe they were getting that free pizza. So again, that's marketing, the psychology, the behavior, all that stuff goes in there. So there you go, a little bit of a, just one example of how that all works. So okay, with that, I'm gonna call it quits right here, because like I say, no issues yet. Some of your regulars getting in touch with me, so no problems there. Those of you who don't know me, it's okay to get in touch with me. If you got a question or anything, you can use the Canvas system, the inbox. Most everybody's using that now, and it works pretty efficiently, because we get alerted and everything when there's a message in there. So you can still email, you can also call and text me, so just let me know if you need anything or got a question on something. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and everybody have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.